Magandang hapon sa lahat. Sana nabusog kayo sa aming munting offering. So, we reached the second half of today. Welcome back. We're now moving to another crucial and very, very important topic, financials. Kadalasan, in the outreach programs which I can serve has done sa mga districts or cities and municipalities, we've met a lot of women who don't seek treatment because yung rason nila, wala naman kaming pera, bakit pa? Diba? So, we're now moving to financial navigation through the cancer journey. Cancer treatments come with financial burdens, we all know that. And it's important to know what resources are available to us to help ease the pain. To help ease them. Our next panel will discuss this in depth and will be moderated by none other than the lovely, youthful Chiki, Roa Puno, a broadcast journalist. In fact, she was a colleague of mine in the early days of People's Television 4, and a former member of the House of Representatives. Chiki is a health advocate who championed healthcare legislation during her term. She co-authored the National Integrated Cancer Control Act, the Mental Health Act, and helped secure free PhilHealth coverage for PWDs, or persons with disabilities. She is also a longtime I Can Serve volunteer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a hand to Ms. Chiki.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Doris. Di po siya nagsasabi ng katotohanan. Hindi ko po siya colleague. Boss ko po siya sa PTV4. Ay, niyo aminin. She was my boss. Yun po ang aking unang foray into TV. Siya po ang boss ko. Kaya nakakatakot. Baptism of fire. Kaya pagkatapos doon, ang babait na ng lahat ng boss ko. And many, many years after, nagkikita kami dito in all of the events that we do together with Cara and the rest of the cancer community. I'm so glad to be back with all of you this afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you once again. How was lunch? Busog? Good? Oo nga nakita ko nga. Tinatanong ko rin kung ano nang nangyari. Ang dami na palang ganap this morning. Ang dami nyo na palang napag-usapan na po. And I'm happy to hear that mental health was also one of the topics earlier today, which is my other advocacy, as Ma'am Doris spoke about earlier today. And now for our first forum after lunch, we will be talking about financial navigation throughout the cancer journey. And as I understand it, whenever ito po ang topic sa kahit anong mga get-together na ino-organize ni Cara, patok po. Ito po ang talagang dinadayo, I think, because it is something that we still have a lot to learn about and to discover about. No? And I think we are lucky today because we have the right people who will tell us about where to access the financial assistance that is available to us pala. Kasi as you know, kayo na ang may alam yan, na dito po sa financial needs, no? At sa financial navigation, dito po may forever, di ba po? Hindi natatapos. Di ba? It starts with primary care, tapos anong sunod? Doon na ba natatapos ang ating financial obligations? Hindi. So, di ba, nandyan yung chemo, if that is what is in line for you. There's surgery, radiation. These are typical. Kung natapos na yon, tapos na po ba? Hindi pa talaga. Kung minsan meron pang lumilihis, nagkakaroon ng ibang mga problema, heart problems are common. Diba? Sometimes we have to deal with that. Of course, as we learned this morning, mental health problems are also a part and parcel of our, let's call it, journey. No? And there is also the palliative care. And all of that costs money. Diba? Magpakatotoo na tayo. But I think the happy news is there is help out there, and there are already things that we can do and people that we can tap who will help us through this journey. And that is what we're going to be talking about this afternoon. Crucial part of survivorship, as you know, is knowing how to access the funds that we need. So we are happy to have our speakers on hand this afternoon. One is from the DOH. We also have one from PhilHealth. And the last from the Philippine Cancer Society, and they have a wealth of information that I'm sure we are going to be able to use today. Kaya makinig kayo na mabuti, hindi lang dahil kailangan natin ito, pero dahil meron tayong pa-quiz mamaya. Siyempre, kung may pa-quiz, may premyo, may prize. Okay, so make sure you jot down whatever you want to. I think you have ways to take notes. And I promise you this is going to be worth your while. We will also give you an opportunity to ask questions of our speakers later on. This is why we have the couch here. All right? So without further ado, we will call up on stage our first speaker. She is Dr. Jan Aura Liavado, the Division Chief of the Cancer Control Division of the Department of Health and heads the Secretariat of the National Integrated Cancer Control Council. She served as a doctor to the barrio in the province of Samar after she completed her Pinoy MD Medicine Scholarship of the DOH. She has a master's degree in public management focused in health systems and development from the DAP, the Development Academy of the Philippines. And currently she is an Atlantic Fellow for Health Equity at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. So please help me welcome with a round of applause, Dr. Jan Aura Liavado.
Hello, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Funny story regarding PTV. Sa probinsya noon, ang gumagana lang channel ay PTV4. And PRTV12, our local channel. So laking PTV4 po ako sa mga news. So ano ba yan? PTV4 news na naman. And wala pong GMA and ABS-CBN. Laging madaming lamok ang TV pag GMA at ABS-CBN. So that's the funny story about PTV4. So I am Jan Liavado po. I'm from Leyte, born and raised, but I'm here in Manila already. I live here in Taguig. And I'm really happy to be in this session. Ma'am Cara and I were in Geneva just recently, and ang dami kong aha moments doon. Isang aha moment ko is that dami palang resources outside. So similar to what we're talking about this afternoon, no, is that there are actual available resources for us, for all of the cancer patients, their families. And even your relatives can access these platforms. So, like you, ako din ay I'm a mom of a autistic child. I have a son who has autism. We've been having therapy for 7 years already. And mahirap din ang finances for autism. I think it's also similar for cancer, although syempre the outcomes are actually very different, no? But BGC rate for therapy is 1,750 per hour. So if you're doing it like 6 times a week, therapy, it really costs a lot. So the bad thing is I saw Ma'am May here, Corvera, kasi yung husband niya nasa DepEd. What happens to our kids, no, who are going to, who are not going to therapy, and who yung nasa school ng various schools who doesn't have access to special education. And special education is really expensive. No? So similar to cancer, pareho tayong may mga financial challenges, and it's good for cancer kasi ang very strong ang civil society organizations. So thank you for inviting me here. So let me start my presentation with, it's actually about the Cancer Assistance Fund and its value on survivorship. So babanggitin ko lang ng onte ang Medicines Access Program, but I think the very value that I want to bring to the table is the utilization of the Cancer Assistance Fund. Okay, so we did a cancer patient's journey, no? So in the past year, we've been doing our strategic framework for the National Integrated Cancer Control Council. And ginawa talaga namin yung patient journey mapping, no? And we've interviewed patients just to feel ano pa talaga yung journey ng isang cancer patient and their families. And alam naman natin to, ang pain points talaga, even before, after, and after treatment, it's still financial issues. So even before diagnosis, kahit may bukol ka na, hindi covered noon ng Cancer Assistance Fund from when you are symptomatic and the actual diagnosis. So as we go along with the Cancer Assistance Fund implementation, we kind of tweaked our policies. Our policy, no, to respond to the needs of the cancer client community. So we know that cancer survivors spend more out-of-pocket expense for medical care than their counterparts without a cancer history. So yan po yung pinakamahirap talaga na katotohanan, no? And financial burden, financial hardship, and financial toxicity is actually a multi-level problem that spans multiple hierarchical levels in the healthcare system. So it's not enough that we're just pushing for a medicines access program, for a cancer assistance fund, but we need to see the bigger and wider systems and systems intervention, no, just to address financial hardship. It's not just about within the family, it's not just about the employer, but it involves a multi-level system interventions, like what are the roles and responsibilities in terms of financial hardships of the provider and care team, what are the roles of us in the national level, what are the roles of those in the legislators and in the Congress. 10 minutes na lang daw ako. Okay, bilisan ko na. Okay, so alam natin we have various available platforms for accessing financial support. Mas alam po ito ng patient navigators namin in the office, and I know there are some of you who are peer and patient navigators as well. I think you can explain this extensively. So we have a lot. We have assistance for indigent AICs and DSWD, we have guarantee letters, we have industry medicines access program, we have foundations, but we wanted really a single payer mechanism. So yan talaga yung pinaka-role ng PhilHealth, no? But wag natin awayin ng PhilHealth. They are our friends, no? And it's really our vision to have a single payer mechanism in the country. But since it's not yet possible right now, that's why we have a lot of financial interventions. So the Department of Health really tries to address inequities in cancer care. So we have two sub-programs within the cancer program, no? Our Cancer Medicines Access Program that actually provides free cancer medicines, and the Cancer Assistance Fund. But what I wanted to talk about right now, no, is the Cancer Assistance Fund. So the Cancer Assistance Fund is actually a fund, it's a special line item in our General Appropriations Act, Special Provision 13 ang line item niya. Basically, it's used to fund cost of cancer prevention, screening, early detection, diagnosis, treatment, and its care-related components. So patients can access it in our access site. Ang cap per patients is 150,000 maximum amount, no, per year. And it can be used by you, by your families who are at risk for cancer, no? Even those na in remission na for how many years already, you can access the Cancer Assistance Fund. The good thing about this is hindi po siya utang, hindi po kagaya ng MAIFIP. It's a front-loading mechanism. Binibigay po namin yung pera, then the hospital will use it, and it becomes their income. So, ano ba talaga yung plano ng Cancer Assistance Fund noon? So, before, no, when this started, the plan really for the Cancer Assistance Fund is still to buy medicines. But, you know, we realized na even if we buy and buy medicines, kung kulang din tayo ng complementary mechanism like for diagnostics, therapeutic procedures, surgery, parang, alam mo yun, hindi pa din siya complete yung picture. So, we're hoping that the Cancer Assistance Fund, although hindi complete pa yung cancer continuum of care, at least it provides some complementary support for the patients and their families. So, CAF can be used in survivorship care. So, if you look into this is the cancer continuum of care. I put surveillance at the last because we know that surveillance is a very, very, very important aspect of our care. So madalas nakakalimutan siya sa nilalagay namin sa mga policies namin. And admittedly, yun talaga yung nangyayari. But now we're really parang pushing na, survivorship program is really good. Hindi pwedeng mag-iiwan lang tayo ng ibang stage because we wanted i-cater yung lower level stages ng cancer. So as you can see here, Cancer Assistance Fund can be used in terms of, dito pala ako dapat titingin. Kung even asymptomatic or symptomatic population for screening, you can also use that for cancer patients and people living with cancer. So yung sinabi ko po kanina, even though you're in remission for a couple of years already, you can access the Cancer Assistance Fund. Your families can also use the Cancer Assistance Fund. Why? Because they're at risk for cancer as well. So, syempre, part of our survivorship care plan, what will happen to our family? We should also take care of our family. We should encourage them to do screening. We should encourage them to, go to the doctor if they feel something. So, the Cancer Assistance Fund can be used for early detection and screening in case your family wants to do screening or they feel something. So, they can use it. The Cancer Assistance Fund can also be used to address your, if you go to the doctor for your common physical issues, or if you, surveillance kung may second cancer, or any social, emotional, and psychological issues as part of our, hospice and palliative care. Sorry, this is a very busy slide, but I will share this to iCanServe. These are the access sites all over the Philippines. Apologies, Asian Medical Center is not part because it's a private hospital and we are addressing the bureaucratic processes of transferring money to a private facility. So ito, I would just like to plug, kasi sabi ni Ma'am Cara, please discuss mental health. Please discuss mental health. So before I was handling two divisions, the cancer and mental health divisions, and I know that mental health is a really, really important component of cancer journey, your cancer journey. So mental health services are actually very available in our primary care facilities. So we have trained our primary care service providers and other community health volunteers for mental health. So dati, ang tingin natin for mental health, it's really a specialist care, but now we're bringing it down to the community. So meron na po tayong tinatawag na community-based mental health services. So even PhilHealth has recently developed a package for mental health. One is the primary care benefit package. So yung po yung mga nasa health centers natin, it costs 9,000 pesos for reimbursement. And those services in a specialist care hospital, it's around 16,000 pesos. But suffice it to say, our primary care service provider are really equipped in delivering, mental health and psychosocial services, especially for us who are here or for those people in extreme life situations. And the mental health program has available resources. So this one is one example of the resource that we have. It's from the World Health Organization. We plan to translate it in Tagalog. This is a self-help book. May audio guidance siya. Doing what matters in times of stress. So if you don't want to go visit a psychologist or a psychiatrist and you want to do it on your own, there are some exercises found in this book that you can actually do at home or wherever, even in your car. So yeah, just a plug about mental health. Okay, going back to the Cancer Assistance Fund. This is our Cancer Assistance Fund information system. We're really tracking how the Cancer Assistance Fund is being used. So kung makikita nyo po, ang liit pa lang ng utilization namin for 2024. May remaining funds pa na 808 million. So ang message ko for this slide, please access the Cancer Assistance Fund because it's not just for cancer patients or current cancer patients for treatment. It's for all of us. It's for you, for the survivors, for your families. So all you can do is just go to the access sites, have yourself enrolled, then you can access the fund within the access sites. So kung makikita nyo po, a lot are using it for diagnostics and laboratory, even screening. And the Cancer Assistance Fund actually funds support services for indirect costs. So for the information of everybody, some of our hospitals are maintaining halfway houses. So they use it to fund their halfway houses. Okay, so there are a lot of opportunities to utilize the Cancer Assistance Fund. So right now, we're working on some bureaucratic issues of transferring the Cancer Assistance Fund to private hospitals and even private clinics, no? Because we wanted to decongest as well our hospitals. So we wanted to expand our services and the facilities. We wanted to leverage the Cancer Assistance Fund for facilities to be PhilHealth accredited. We wanted to use Cancer Assistance Fund for, for your follow-ups and regular surveillance. Nasabi ko na po kanina, screening and early detection. And lastly, to address the social determinants of health, the use of the Cancer Assistance Fund to address indirect costs of treatment. So, in conclusion, for this session, ang sinasabi natin kanina, it's really, the financial hardship is really, hierarchical and multi-level. So marami pa din tayo and kami na gagawing intervention. So number one, interventions for the patients and the families regarding, the patients should be part of the decision-making treatment. Kailangan may support din sa kanila for indirect costs of treatment. In terms of employer, we should be promoting job security and retention and continuity of insurance coverage, provider and care team in terms of, actual navigation of patients, and transparency and cost communication is really important. So all the others are really important. So what I'm saying here, it's not just enough just for the Cancer Assistance Fund. There are a lot of systems intervention that we are supposed to be doing. So finally, I just wanted to end here. This is not a reminder for you, but really a reminder for me and those working in government. Ano ba ang feeling ng isang patient na may cancer, ng isang survivor? So I found this earlier in the internet. Sabi, having cancer may feel like running a hard race toward a finish line. People with cancer may keep the line in mind as they do their best to power through cancer's challenges. Finishing treatment, however, may not always mean they've crossed it. Some people are cancer-free after initial treatment but don't feel free from cancer. Yan palang ibig sabihin ng survivorship, no? Other people still see the finish line, but they keep running into cancer. For others, the finish line they reach is very different from the one they expected. So, a reminder for me and of course the Cancer Control Division that hopefully in the future we are not just dealing with papers in front of us, but each paper is actually a cancer patient behind it. So maraming salamat po and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jan. Ang ganda yung huling binitawan ni Dr. Jan. Parang sinulat ko rin. Or sinubukan ko iisulat, pero parang, I'm sure, in so many words, yan din ang sinasabi ninyo sa sarili nyo, hindi ba? Pero ang ganda lang ng pagkalatag ni Dr. Jan. Thanks so much for all the information that you gave us. All right. We have, like I mentioned, 3 speakers. So we move on to our second speaker today. Mr. Ezequiel C. holds a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and a Juris Doctor degree. In 2021, he joined the Special Benefits team under the Benefits Development and Research Department at PhilHealth. His primary responsibility is developing special benefits packages, particularly the Z-Benefits. Ikaw pala, si Sir Kiel pala yung gumagawa ng mga Z-Benefits. Ayan! His work is centered on enhancing healthcare coverage to improve public health outcomes. Mamaya, tatadta rin natin ang tanong si Sir Kiel, pero ngayon pakinggan muna natin siya. Big hand for PhilHealth's Mr. Ezequiel C.
Magandang hapon po. Pasensya na po sa boses ko. Galing lang po ako sa sakit po eh. So, sino pong aware do sa Z-Benefits sa mga nandito? Oh, madami-dami pala. Okay po. First and foremost po, I will acknowledge po si Dr. Madeline Valera po. Siya po yung nag-cost po nung Z-Benefits package ng breast cancer po. So, siya po din sa costing team po ng breast cancer. In 2012 po, yung Z-Benefits, inintroduce na po namin yung breast cancer. However, 100,000 ang coverage nito at ang criteria lang po niya is up to stage 3A. Then, yung coverage niya, surgery, chemotherapy, and diagnostics. So with the enhancement ng benefit package ngayon 2024, included na po dito yung hormotherapy, targeted therapy, and surveillance. Makikita nyo po, pinakamahal na package namin is yung targeted therapy. And as well po, in-increase yung coverage for sa iba't ibang treatment phase. So, anong nangyayari dito? Mostly, yung pasyente, maraming agam-agam sila sa sarili. Kasi nga, mahal ang treatment ng breast cancer. Unang-una, kahit may nakakapa silang bukol, sabihin nila, okay lang yan, baka hindi naman cancer pa. So, dahil dito, dinevelop namin lalo yung benefit package ng breast cancer para naman ma-address yung financial risk o yung financial burden na concern ng mga pasyente. And in-include na namin dito yung iba't ibang treatment protocol ng breast cancer. So, paano ba ma-avail natin ang Z-Benefit package for breast cancer? So, unang-una, meron kaming eligibility criteria. Pero makikita niyo po doon, ang Z-Benefit package, exclusive po siya for breast cancer lang talaga. So, you may wonder po, bakit may kasamang diagnostic test? Hindi po siya part as screening. Included dito yung mammography, ultrasound. Pero however, may criteria to avail. So mostly, iba-iba yung circumstances ng patient. Midadating sa isang contracted health facility, meron na siyang biopsy. So confirmed breast cancer na siya. Pwede siyang enroll dun sa mismong contracted health facility ng PhilHealth para makapag-avail ng C-Benefit package. Next, yung mga first time na madadiagnose. Kalimitan ng mga pasyente na da-diagnose siya outside sa mga contracted health facility. So, darating si pasyente, meron ng mga diagnostic tests, kompleto na yung workups. Then, probably nag-start na siya na ibang mga treatment protocol. So, ito yung mga consideration na binago namin doon sa availment ng benefit package. Next, yung biopsy, covered naman to ng all case rates, policy ng PhilHealth. Then, we include yung prognostication. So, covered nito yung immunohistochemistry ng pasyente. So, may mga test na ginagawa para ma-determine kung ano yung mga status ng pasyente regarding sa kanilang treatment. So, yung eligibility criteria, merong another phase. So, ito naman, kapag na-confirm na breast cancer patient si pasyente, pwede siyang enrolled for pre-authorization. So, dadaan ng pre-authorization phase yung pasyente. Ang criteria, gaya nga po nung nabanggit ko kanina, so yung benefit package ngayon, up to stage 4 na ang coverage. Then, yung treatment phase namin, we include surgery, chemotherapy, targeted therapy, hormotherapy, surveillance. Yung isa sa pinamahalaga dito, yung multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary team ng isang contracted health facility. Kasi sila yung nagde-determine kung ano nga ba yung treatment na kailangan ng pasyente. Iba-iba yung kailangan ng pasyente. Hindi lahat kailangan nila yung treatment, lahat na nabanggit ko kanina. Pwedeng surgery lang kailangan ng pasyente. Pwedeng surgery chemo, pwedeng surgery chemo hormotherapy. Yung targeted therapy kasi nakabase siya dun sa HER2 status ng pasyente. Kung negative siya, hindi siya makakapag-avail ng targeted therapy. And yung surveillance, halimbawa, si pasyente, tapos na siya, survivor. Ang pinamalaga dito, pwede siya mag-enroll sa contracted health facility para ma-monitor kung merong recurrence. So dito, pwede bang ma-avail niya yung iba't ibang coverage under sa surveillance. Meron kaming mammogram, ultrasound, bone scan, bone densitometry, yung chest x-ray, and yung gynecological exam, at saka yung transvaginal ultrasounds. So may mga requirements ito na naka-indicate sa policy kung paano ma-avail. Likewise, yung continuity of care. So we give emphasis po doon sa continuity of care. Kasi dati kapag yung treatment mo nasimula na sa health facility, hindi ka na ma-enroll sa Z. Ngayon, ma-enroll ka na at any treatment phase. Pero of course, meron pa rin mga criteria na included dito. Then next, yung mga na-lost to follow-up na patient namin, pwede na siya uling i-re-enroll. Hindi katulad dati na kapag nag-lost to follow-up, pwedeng disqualified na siya or hindi na niya ma-avail talaga yung benefits under the Z. Yan. Pretty much, ito po yung mag-explain ng buong journey ng pasyente. Unang-una, yung first time ma-diagnose na pasyente sa contracted health facility or yung meron ng mga laboratory or na-confirm na breast cancer patient. So, upon eligibility criteria, pwedeng gawin uli yung ultrasound or mammogram mismo doon sa contracted health facility. Likewise, kung yung biopsy, hindi nagawa na or hindi pa, so depende sa circumstances. So pwede din siyang gawin sa contracted health facility. Then next, yung prognostication para ma-determine ng MDT kung ano yung kanilang magiging treatment plan doon sa pasyente. Then next, i-enroll na siya sa Z benefits. And magkakaroon ng pre-authorization. Then, i-check nung MDT kung ano yung mga kailangang treatment, yung treatment plan ng pasyente. So, yung availment, pwedeng surgery, chemo, combination. Kung may recurrence, pwede uling mag-avail ng surgery pero for the other side ng breast. Then, kung chemotherapy, basta mahalaga dito, na-treat yung unang cancers or naging survivor siya. Then next, targeted therapy. Although ngayon, maximum 18 cycles ang coverage. Next is yung hormotherapy and surveillance. Makikita nyo dito, within the year, ito yung pwedeng ma-avail ng patient, pero it may continue po up to 5 to 10 years. So it covers yung hormotherapy, surveillance, and kung survivor na siya or cancer-free, yung aming surveillance. Next, paano kung nagkaroon ng recurrence after a year? Ma-avail niya rin po yung ibang treatment phase dito. Depende kung kailangan niya pa ng surgery or chemotherapy. So yun yung mga adjustment na ginawa namin doon sa breast cancer package. Ito po yung nagsasummarize nung mismong diagnostic test. So, gaya naman nabanggit ko, merong mammogram, ultrasound, tsaka yung gynecological evaluation and transvaginal ultrasound. Chest x-ray to the echo para sa mga nagtatrastuzumab, bone densitometry, and bone scan para sa mga ma-check kung meron pa bang remnants yung cancer. Paano ba, ito pinamalagay, access. Saan ba ma-avail ang Z-benefit package ng breast cancer? So ito po yung current na contracted health facility ng PhilHealth. Makikita nyo po, missing pa rin yung ibang region. But PhilHealth is doing our efforts para mapunan po yung bawat region ng contracted health facility. Kasi importante, merong benefit package pero walang access. Yung pasyente, kailangan pa niyang tumawid ng ibang region para lang ma-avail yung benefit package. Next, although na-discuss po na ni Doktora, daanan ko lang po saglit. So, affected, mostly noong 2020, affected po dito yung mga almost 3.6 M na mamayang Pilipino na nagsasuffer ng mental health. Yeah, skip ko na yan. So, yung package inclusion, Yung ating general mental health package, 9,000 pesos. So included dito yung assessment, essential diagnostic, at saka yung mga follow-up visits. At kung kailangan naman ng specialty care, ito yung nagkakos ng 16,000 pesos. Kasama dito yung assessment, essential diagnostic test, and specialist na magtitingin doon sa pasyente na may mental health disorder. So available po ito sa level 2 and level 3 hospital. Ito po yung list na condition under MHGAP. Kung ang pasyente nagsasuffer ng depression, psychosis, epilepsy, yung child, adolescent, and mental behavioral disorder, dementia, and self-harm or suicide. So incidentally, meron pa pong isang benepisyo po ang PhilHealth. Ito po yung children with disability for developmental disabilities. So around 2017, na-develop ito ng PhilHealth. So it covers yung mga autism at saka yung ibang mga developmental disorder ng mga bata. Saan po ba natin ma-access yung mental health? So currently, meron po tayong 6 na contracted health facilities. So for general mental health services and 2 para sa specialty mental health. Sa NCR, we have yung National Center for Mental Health who cater for both. I believe this is my last slide po. Thank you. Thank you po sa pakikinig.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kiel. Napansin ko, hindi lang ako yung parang nanliliit yung mata ko. Merong isang slide si Dr. Jan, tsaka si Dr. Kiel kanina. Ang liliit nung sulat. Pero natuwa ako dahil ano ibig sabihin nun? Ito yung mga slide nila mentioning yung mga access points sa iba't ibang parte ng bansa. Sa dami, lumiit no? Ibig sabihin madami. So good news yun, di ba? Diba, no, Sir Kiel? Thank you very much. So kayo ba ay nag-iisip na ng mga itatanong ninyo kay Dr. Kiel, kay Sir Kiel? Nako, ayan na, ready na, sir. Ready na ba? Relax lang kayo dyan because natapos ang DOH, tapos ang PhilHealth, but wait, there is more. Siyempre, tanong ko pala, nasan po dito ang ating mga patient navigators? Meron ba among, meron din. Okay, dahil ang ating next speaker, siya yung etc. Siya yung patient navigator of all patient navigators na maraming maituturo din sa atin. Alright? Ready na ba kayo? Marami kayong matututunan sa kanya. Mr. Romy Marcaida. Ha? May pala. Is a veteran patient navigator. In fact, he is the Patient Navigation Program Director of the Philippine Cancer Society for 14 years. Marami po siyang secret at ipapaalam niya sa atin ngayon. Siya po isang miyembro din ng Cancer Coalition Philippines. Kilala niyo na siya. I'm sure you see him all the time. Palakpakan natin, Mr. Romy Marcaida.
Salamat, Ma'am Chiki. At magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I'm sure natutuwa si former Congresswoman Chiki dahil yung binalita kanina ni Dr. Jan Levado, isa siya sa principal author ng Cancer Assistance Fund. Kaya palakpakan natin. Andiyan na, meron ng laman. Noong first year, wala pa no? So, masaya kami ni Cara. At kami Philippine Cancer Society, hindi kami kagaya ng PhilHealth, wala kaming pera. Yung PhilHealth, ang DOH, yun yung maraming pera. Pero pwede namin kayong ituro kung saan ang may pera. No, para magamit nyo sa inyong pagpapagamot. Ayan. At hindi ko alam paano ko pagkakasyahin sa 10 minutes itong resource. 15 naman. Buti na lang. Ang pre-practice ko, 10 minutes. At ito ang aking topic, navigating resources for cancer patient and survivorship. At naalala ko, gusto kong balikan nung nag-aaral pa ako. Matagal na yan, no? 1980s, no? Yung kwento ni Rosario. Inabit nyo, ma'am. Kasi, Doc. Yung kwento ni Rosario, yan lagi ang aming sinisimulan na kwento, no? Para ma-describe namin yung ano nangyayari sa health system, social determinants of health sa Pilipinas. So si Rosario, noong 1980, ay isang bata siya, no? Pinanganak siya sa isang mahirap na pamilya. Hindi ito cancer no? Pero siya ay nagkasakit, no? Nagtae, naglubha, tapos hanggang sa finally namatay, no? At dito ay na-describe na namin kung ano-ano ang mga what are the ills, no, of a situation ng ating programa sa health at iba pa, no? Kaya yung magulang niya walang resources, mahirap, hindi nakakuha ng wala pang assistance fund, wala pang malasakit, wala pang iba. Kaya after ilang buwan namatay si Rosario, no? Na bata pa siya. Marami pa sana siyang magagawa, ano. Pero gusto kong baguhin natin ang kwento, no? Kaya ang layunin natin ay baguhin ang kwento, no? Yung kwento niya at ang kwento ninyo bilang mga cancer patients ngayon. No? So 40 years later, no, ang tagal ko na pala nag-aral, nahalata tuloy. No? Wala na si Rosario. No? So meron na tayong mga bagong sistema. We have a new law, universal health care. Pangarap lang namin yan noong 70s and 80s. No? Primary care. Dinodrawing lang namin yan noon, nung nag-aaral. Pero after 40 plus years, meron na primary care. Of course, nandyan yung National Integrated Cancer Control Law, which was signed 2019, at nagbunga na yung mga programa. So mayroon ng mga ibang kwento, iba ng senaryo. No? Kaya gusto nating baguhin. At kanina alam nyo, kung nakinig kayo ng mabuti, doon sa kinikwento ni Dr. Jan at ni Ezekiel, palagay ko ay bago na yung kwento nyo, hindi na si Rosario. No? Kasi yun yung biggest, yun ang mga major financial resources na pwede nating gamitin. Subalit, no, bago ako pumunta doon, hindi naman perfecto, di ba? Nung pinapanood ko nga yung sa PhilHealth, ito yung mga ospital, etc. No? So may iba pang ospital na hindi pa nakasali dito. No? So kaya kailangan maiba tayong pagkukuhaan pa ng resources. No? Of course, government has the most number of budget, but also from other agencies. No? Kaya yun ang layunin natin. At gusto ko lang balikan ulit, sinabi ito kaninang umaga, no? Yung journey, no? Yung journey, yung continuum ng care, ng paglalakbay sa pangangalaga ng may cancer. Hindi ng pangangalaga ng cancer, hindi inaalagaan ng cancer. Pero yung may cancer, inaalagaan natin. Ano? So, kasi dito rin makikita kung ano mga kailangan natin para gumanda ang ating journey. So, of course, we start from prevention. No? At sa prevention ay wala pa namang cancer. No? Dapat nalalaman mo na yung katawan mo, yung lahi mo, yung lifestyle mo. No? Paano pwedeng bumaba ang chance na magkaroon ka ng breast cancer. So meron din mga pangangailangan dyan. Kailangan mo rin later on resources. No? At susunod dyan, mga sintomas. No? May bukol at iba pa. May detection, no, ng cancer. So hindi palaging nagsisimula ang bawat isa dito, di ba? Iba nagja-jump na ayaw magpa-check up, no? Ayaw magpa-detect, pupunta na doon, malala na. So, pero ito yung usual phases, no? Kaya gusto naming ikutin natin ito. And then, pag may na-detect, syempre, kailangan ng malaman. Ito yung medyo mabigat na, madamdamin, may konting gastos, no? Hindi pa masyadong malaki ang gastos, no? Pero kanina, ang ganda ng kinikwento ng PhilHealth, pwede nila sagutin. So once na-diagnose na may cancer, ang next phase ay yung mabigat na parte, yung treatment. No? Treating cancer, breast cancer, o anumang sakit. No? Of course, ito yung phase na medyo mahaba, mahal, no? At maraming kailangang suporta, hindi lang physical, mental, at iba pa, no? Na kailangan. And then the next phase, after the treatment, survivorship. No? Siyempre, ang gusto natin, kaya ang slide na ito sa isang ahensya, mas finocus nila yung survivorship. No? Sana mag-survive. Sana mabuhay, tumagal pa ang buhay. No? So yun ang ating objective at yun ang ating resources. However, kung hindi ito mapupuntahan, pupunta tayo sa other phase, yung palliative and hospice care. So, knowing this, ano-ano yung mga pangangailangan at ano yung mga needs of care at ano ang meron dito sa atin. No, hindi ko kayang ipakita ng lahat ito. Mahaba itong part na lecture na ito eh. Pero I'm just going to give you a matrix, a summary. No, and the bigger agencies, no, which kanina medyo maganda at napakita na. Pero we have a touch of this table and I can give this to you. No? So ito yung cancer care resource matrix. At it will show kung ano ang phase na nandoon, ang pasyente, no? At ano yung care na kailangan, ano yung mga needs, no, of implementing that care, ano ang resources that we can tap. No? At marami dito, may alam na eh. No? Kaya sabi ko, ang mga nakikita ko parang karamihan, dati ko nang nakita eh. Sa summit, sa lahat. Sana nadagdagan tayo, di ba? Dapat ito yung mga minamarites nyo, yung mga event na ganito. At mga lecture, di ba? Kasi hindi paraging tayo nagkikita. No? Kaya kailangan merong bagong tutunan at may bagong natututo. No? Kasi how many ba, no, na-discuss ba? Ilan na ba ang nagkaroon ng breast cancer last year? Mga ilan? Almost more than 30,000. Eh, wala pa tayong 1,000, di ba? So, kailangan ikwento natin ito. So, let's look, no, at the beginning sa prevention and health promotion. No? So, importante yung prevention at may health promotion. No? You're promoting a healthy lifestyle. You're promoting taking care of yourself. No? So, hindi ito cancer pa, no? But everybody starts from here. No? At knowing yourself, meron ka bang lahi ng breast cancer? No? Meron ka bang lifestyle na medyo tumataas, no, ang tsansa, etc. So, meron ding pangangailangan yan. No? So, kailangan mo, hindi ito pera. No? Health education. Knowledge is, sabi nga, knowledge is power. If you have knowledge, no, you can prevent a lot of things. No? Pwede kang matuto na handa mo sarili mo sa mangyayari in the future. Di ba? Hindi yung cancer is a chronic disease. Eh. Hindi naman siya emergency. Pero dahil hindi ka handa, pagdating ng panahon, nagpapanik ka agad. Paano nga ito? Hindi. No? Dito sa stage na to, pwede na nating paghandaan. No? Knowledge is power. Increase your literacy of breast cancer, and health in general. No? Healthy lifestyle. Yan, ano? Minsan, pag nagka-cancer tayo, tsaka tayo nag-healthy lifestyle, di ba? Tsaka ayoko na kumain ng gulay. Ayoko nang kumain ng gulay na gusto kong kainin. Ano? So, kung kailan may sakit ka na, nandiyan ang change, no? Balik dapat before. No? So, yan sa phase na yan. And syempre, nakasama dyan yung vaccination. Although sa breast ay wala ito. No? So, ano mga needs natin yan? Proper knowledge. No? I put in proper kasi yung knowledge pwedeng kunin kahit saan. Pwedeng kunin sa social media, sa TikTok, sa Facebook, sa kapitbahay, sa kaibigan. Di ba? So proper knowledge, no? Dapat meron tayong tamang pagtingin. Hindi po lahat ng ang daming influencer. Ang daming paniniwalaan agad natin, di ba? So ganyan. And then the healthy lifestyle enabling environment. So we have some resources for that, no? At merong international resources, of course, mga local. Halos lahat dito mga agencies here, they have a lot of good resources and you don't have to pay for this pa. No? For international, pwede niyong tignan ito, yung mga sites na ito, like the American Cancer Society's cancer.org. No? Very informative, no? And very scientific. No? Pati mga anong pagkain, etc. So how do you prepare yourself? Meron ding breastcancer.org. Ito yung mga magbibigay na pati mga noon pa at mga bagong kaalaman tungkol sa breast cancer. No? So, they're very good sites. No? Of course, ang Department of Health and Cancer Coalition Philippines. So, ang Cancer Coalition Philippines ay binubuo ng iba't ibang ahensya, kagaya ng I Can Serve. No? At so marami rin silang information. At kahit sa kapitbahay nyo lang, sa barangay nyo, health center, RHUs, some hospitals, no? At nilagay ko dito, special mention, baka magselos ang ibang society, PSMO, no? Philippine Society of Medical Onco, no? Itong the past years, they've gone community-based, no? Yung mga yung mga strategies nila, no? It's not for the oncologist, but for the community, no? For the people. Kaya if you go visit their website, medyo kakaiba, no? Kasi kalamitan ng society, it's for the society members mostly, no? Pero mayroong mga programs sila for community, kaya isa siyang nandyan na makikita pa sa ibang faces. So simple lang ito. Wala ka namang bagastusin dito. Browse lang. I-browse the website. These are the sites: cancer.org, psmo.org.ph, doh.gov.ph, breastcancer.org, for example. Visit and join yung Cancer Coalition Facebook, no? At visit your health centers, no? Get appointments, no, kung kailangan. Then the next phase is screening and check-up, no? So tayo, nagpapa-check up lang tayo pagka meron na, pag masakit na, ha? Pagka wala pa, hindi ako mag-check up. Total, maganda naman ang pakiramdam ko, di ba? So, very important ito na phase. In fact, these two, no, screening is a very vital in decreasing mortality, increasing good outcome, health outcome. So, kailangan natin dito, ito yung mga physical examination, laboratory test, some meron ng treatments, and counseling, no? Or increasing your knowledge on this. So, ang needs natin dyan, kailangan ng providers, agencies, labs, no? And na-discuss ngayong mental health counselors also. No? Kasi sometimes, yung motivation na pagpatuloy mo ito, at paanong gawin kung ganitong situation, you need someone to talk to you, no? So, kaya you need this. We have resources also for that. At hindi nga nabanggit kasi nakafocus sa package. Pero ang PhilHealth, meron silang tinatawag na konsulta, no? So, maraming screening packages to. So, I think, meron bang member dito ng e-consulta, nag-enroll sa PhilHealth? Si ma'am. Tatatlo lang sila. Siguro si Doc Mads, I'm sure. Tsaka mga taga PhilHealth. Ang idol namin si Yusek Mads. Iilan lang, no? So, sayang itong PhilHealth consultant na to. You can use this for check-ups, no? Health centers. Now, ay ipopromote ko yung mga kasama natin. I Can Serve, no? So, of course, breast screening. Kasuso Foundation, andyan sila Mamalu, they have mammography, no, in selected areas. Libre yan. And then other groups, no, sa inyong lugar. No? And again, PSMO. How do you get this? No? So, enroll ka lang. Enroll at this PhilHealth consultant. Contact and get appointments from this group. I Can Serve, for example. These are just some of the examples, but we have a more complete list. Kasuso, these are their numbers. Sa amin, Philippine Cancer Society, you can contact us and we can go to your barangay, no, to do screening program, and we bring our ultrasound as well. So, and then, itong PSMO, you can actually seek an appointment with the doctors, wherever you are. No? They have members. So, you can contact them and see if you can have a consultation. No? I'm sure baka yung ibang societies, they also have it, no? Pero nakita ko yung medyo community-based. So these are some of the examples na pwede nating to have a screen, no? Especially if you need resources. Kasi iba dito, you can go to private clinics, private hospitals to do screening. Kaya dito, kung ikaw taga-Taguig, narinig ko si Dr. Jan, taga-Taguig. Pumunta ka lang sa health center, ang gagaling mag-screen ng mga ating dibdibin na sa Taguig, no? Program. So, meron. Dapat alamin niyo yun. Ano? Kasi, ayun, kung halimbawa ay mga program doon ng mga Rotary, Zonta, you can go to your barangays eh. Meron silang program. Sumali po kayo doon. No? Kasi merong screening, etc. So, Roptomist, for example. So, sumali tayo doon. Kasi that's free. At the same time, merong assistance eh, kung merong makikita. Next is diagnosis. No? Ito may konting pangailangan na ito. No? So, diagnostic procedures, they do biopsy and other tests as well. May resources, as mentioned earlier, yung tsaka sa ibang banggit ng DOH, all the cancer centers, no, they have this, most of them have this, no, and then you can have it free if you talk to social service, no, and then pwede na magpakita rito yung Malasakit Center. Malasakit Center is a one-stop shop, supposedly, no, for major government agencies that provides medical, financial assistance, no, to ang pagkakaalam ko para mga 100 ng Malasakit centers all over the country. No? Nung una, ang tawag ng mga kabubs dito, pasakit eh. Ngayon, malasakit na rin. Kasi matagal, no? At minsan nawawala yung, walang perpekto eh. Basta simula, no? So, ayan nabanggit ni Dr. Jan. Very important. I hope nakinig kayo. Yung CAF, Cancer Assistance Fund pa lang, utilize this. Mababa pa lang. No? So may mga paraan yan, papaano. And again, nabanggit. Wala po akong bayad sa PSMO. Talagang nilagay ko lang siya dyan. So how do you get this? Enroll at hospitals. You might say package. Actually, diagnostic nabanggit na ni Ezekiel, di ba? CAF programs. Visit the Malasakit Center. They're all over the hospitals mostly. You can also request sa PCSO. Hi, sir. At other agencies. No? Here are some of the list, no, of the agencies that can help you. There are numbers also, and there are suggestions how to go about it. Hindi ko na siya isa-isahin. Okay? And then, for monitoring and maintenance, as mentioned earlier, so meron din mga kailangan, nandun din na sa CAF at iba pa. I will just give you a copy of that. No? Ito lang may reminders ako sa mga kagaya ko at sa mga kailangan na resources. When we look for resources, dapat mentally prepared po kayo. No? Dapat ready kayo na ma-frustrate kayo sa beginning. Minsan mahaba ang pila. Minsan hindi natutuloy, hindi kompletong binibigay ng ahensya. Kaya maraming ahensyang pinakita. So, kailangan ready ka. No? And then, kailangan dapat meron ka rin gagastusin. No? Kasi akala lahat ibibigay ng government. No? Hindi po. No? So, you have to prepare some, may pang-load ka, may pang-pamasahe ka, etc. And then, be practical. Use the practical calls, internet, etc. Before going, ang layo pala ng batasan to go to DSWD. No? So, be practical and adapt. Meaning, you have to learn a lot of things. And then, ito, proper inquiries. No? Dapat nakaprepare ka na ano ang mga tatanungin mo sa ahensya. Ano mga dadalhin mo? Right questions to the right persons. No? Baka pumunta ka sa opisina ng PCSO, ang tagal mo nakipag-check sa guard. Tatanong mo lang pala, ano oras nagbubukas yung opisina? Di ba? Nakipag-check ka na ng ilang minuto, no? Nasayang. So, at you can use support groups. No? Important yun. Ready ka na. Anong mga tatanungin mo sa doktor? Anong tatanungin mo sa ahensya? No? And we can also help you with that. No? Para pagdating mo doon, very efficient ang iyong pakikipagtungo. Prepare the following. Ito yung most common requirements of most of the agencies. Medical abstract, protocols, request orders, prescriptions, with amount pa nga yung iba, no? A social case study, barangay indigency, or personal letter of request, and ito, valid ID. Kailangan may valid ID ka. Alam mo ba yung valid ID? PWD, you can bring your PWD, your senior ID yan. So para mas lalang ma-facilitate. Dapat alam niyo yung valid IDs. No? And finally, at the end of all this thing, do not lose hope. No? Get going. Hindi mo man makuha ito. Ang binibigay na ng PSO ngayon, dati ang laki ngayon. 10,000 or less na lang. Yung DSWD, pwede mong makuha mabilis pero less than 10,000 lang. Pero kung o 5,000, 3,000. Sa Senate, they also give. Di ba, may listahan ako. But do not lose hope. Marami pang ahensya eh. No, kasi pag na-lose hope ka, na-stress ka, yan ang kalaban ng cancer, di ba? So, kailangan get going. No? So, remember all these things. Marami pang ibang characters. So gusto, pag nagawa natin ito, and then we'll give you a list of all the resources as well. So, gusto nating mabago ang kwento. No? So, gusto nating baguhin yung kwento. Ang gusto kong kwento, ang kwento ng may pangarap at may pag-asa. No? At hindi na si Rosario, si Maria, si Cara, at iba pa, si Giselle, yun ang mga kwento nila. So yun po ang aking last slide. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon sa inyo lahat.
Thank you so much. Sir Rom, pwesto ka na dahil magsa-start na tayo ng ating Q&A, and we will also call up on stage Dr. Jan Levada because we are going to get started with our Q&A, and of course si Sir Kielcy also. We acknowledge the presence of former Secretary Jaime Galvestan. Good afternoon, sir. We look forward to your talk right after this on nutrition. Palakpakan po natin. Habang pumupwesto po ang ating mga guests, eto na po ang ating quiz. We are short on time, but I know you're going to be fast in answering our quiz questions. First one to the mic will get a chance to win a prize if you get the right answer for our first question. Sa loob ng Cancer Assistance Fund, magkano per year ang allotted per patient? Go, ma'am! Hindi po narinig. Ulit po. Hello?
Okay po.
Yes. 150K! That's right. Ang bilis. Ang bilis talaga. Okay. I'll get right to it, ma'am. Baka, ayan, ang bilis ni ma'am. Next question. Ito naman. Magkano rin ang expanded Z benefits for breast cancer? Dating 100K. Magkano na ngayon? Magkano na ngayon? Takbo sa mic. Dali! 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 Dali!
140,000.
Sorry?
140,000.
Ay, nako, mabuti na lang mali yan, ma'am, dahil mas mataas pa.
Ay, 1.4.
Yun! 1.4 million. Kulang ng zero, ma'am. 1.4 million. That's right. That's good news. Oh, we have time for our last one, di ba? Sabi ni Sir Rom, huwag makinig lang sa kapitbahay o sa TikTok. Magbigay ng kahit isa sa mga binigay niyang mga reliable sources, resources on the internet where you can go. Anybody on the mic, go ma'am, takbo, dali, dali, dali.
PCSO.
Sorry? Isa pa po.
PCSO po.
PCSO, binanggit mo ba yung PCSO?
Mali. Para sa iba yun.
Oh,
PhilHealth.
pero
Support.
meron din doon.
PhilHealth.
Sino, ma'am, go.
Support group, I can serve.
I can serve.
Oo,
Sinabi mo ba
support
yun,
group.
sir? Pwede naman.
Malasakit.
Cancer.org, breastcancer.org, Cancer Coalition, DOH, yan. All right. Congratulations to our winners. And I will take my position over there. All right. Sige, I will just get the ball rolling. Please get your questions ready. We have about, fortunately, 10 minutes, but we'll try to do this fast. Unahin ko na, no? Si Dr. Jan, this is a question that is probably in a lot of their minds kasi maraming lumalabas na mga sakit often after cancer, like lymphedema, yung mga heart ailments. How long after the course of your cancer are you still able to avail of the Cancer Assistance Fund?
Until you're here, ma'am, on earth.
Ah!
Oo, basta everybody can avail as long as you're Siyempre, meron na tayong PWD IDs,
Okay.
diba? Yun lang naman yung kailangan namin. Or if you still have an available medical certificate just to show na you can avail of the diagnostics, of course you can.
Narinig niyo yun? May forever. Sabi ni ma'am sa DOH, sa CAF. Alright, thank you so much for that. And I also have a question pang buena mano for Sir Kiel. Ano po ang ginagawa natin in terms of our PR efforts para malaman pa ng buong bansa ang inyong mga bagong Z benefits? Oo, ma'am, website. Sige po, ayan, website uli. Saan po nila pwedeng malaman pa kung gusto nilang balikan?
Yung pong mga...
Yes po.
Yung pong mga bagong benepisyo po ng PhilHealth, pwede nyo pong bisitahin yung aming official Facebook page ng PhilHealth at yung aming website na philhealth.gov.ph. para makita po niyo yung mga bagong circular na nilalabas na may kinalaman sa mga benepisyo at iba pang mga polisiya ng PhilHealth.
Sir, alam niyo naman kami mga Gen Z. Hindi. Mahilig sa infographic, di ba? Alam niyo yon, yung parang poster lang. Meron ba kayong ganon?
Yes po.
Yan.
Doon sa PhilHealth website, PhilHealth Facebook page, makikita niyo po yun.
Yun
yung
ang
mga
gusto
infographics
natin.
po at sa mga regional offices, pag bumibisita po at yung mga ating, pag nagbabayad po tayo doon sa ating mga local health insurance offices, meron po mga infographic material po doon o yung
Yun.
mga.
Asahan po namin din mag-guest kayo sa aming mga show. Ayan, si Suzy yata nandito na. Mag-guest kayo sa unang hirit o kaya sa morning show namin para pag-usapan ito, para malaman pa ng madla. No? Thank you po. Ito, ako naman, yung aking one question kay Sir Rom, put you on the spot. Nandito ang ating mga very important government agencies. Para hindi na kailangan makipagkwentuhan sa security guard, para mas streamline na ang mga proseso when it comes to getting assistance for cancer. Magbigay please kayo ng 1 or 2 suggestions or pieces of advice if you can, since pagkakataon na natin, na baka pwedeng i-apply ng ating government agencies, ipasa nila sa mga kinauukulan.
Actually, sinisimulan nila. No? Una, magkaroon ng patient navigators sa lahat ng mga ospital, pati sa community, no? At pati sa LGUs. Kasi ang navigators, they are well informed kung ano yung mga programa ng gobyerno, ano yung mga gagawin, etc.
Alright. Patient navigator of the patient navigator sa director. It makes all the sense in the world. And for the patient navigators there, talagang kayo ang puntahan. By the way, kasama kayo dun sa listahan ng mga resource people na fact-checked and reliable. Pwede na po kayo magkwento ng lahat ng natutunan niyo today. Alright? Time for your questions. Sige po, ma'am. I saw your hand first. Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Good afternoon po. I'm Marvie Trudeau. I am with Health Empowerment and Linkages of the Philippines, or HELP. I've been helping cancer patients on my own, but I rely heavily on government agencies, Department of Health and PhilHealth. My question and my dilemma is actually, ang Pilipinas ay isang archipelagic nation. At dun sa mga access points ninyo, ako'y taga Palawan. Ang hirap pong walang access point both for the Z package at sa CAF package. Paano niyo tutulungan yung mga cancer patients namin sa Palawan at iba pang mga remote islands na mas nangangailangan, na kailangan pa nilang lumipad papunta doon sa mga access points? Ano ang inyong mga gagawin para matulungan natin ito? Hindi po pwede na yung mga access points ninyo ay nasa mga urban centers. Madali na silang pumunta dun sa mga ospital. Pero dun sa mga island municipalities and mahirap po ang access to this
Yes. We got it. Talagang, thank you, ma'am. Very, very good question. Go ahead, Dr. Jan.
Thank you. Ma'am, I feel you. Di ba, sa Daram ako nag-DTTV, so we have to ride the boat. Kung maalon, hindi kami makakatawid sa Samar Provincial Hospital, di ba, Sec Jimmy? So, ma'am, actually sa Palawan, ang dami naming nililigawan na ospital to be an access site. Actually, kami yung naliligaw to encourage them, but we can't really provide an access kung wala ding services, di ba? Kung walang multidisciplinary team. Although meron tayong chemotherapy, for example, meron din tayong experts na nagsasabi it should be partnered with diagnostic interventions as well. So, ang una talaga nating gagawin, dapat i-build natin yung capacity ng hospital na yun. Right? Yes, it's a DOH hospital. I know, ma'am. Yan yung masakit. Kasi DOH hospital pa yun. Oriental Mindoro Provincial Hospital, nag-apply din sa amin as an access site, no? I think yan din yung sasabihin ni PhilHealth na dapat talaga may existing services. So we're working right now with the Health Facility Development Bureau and the HFEP to actually, alam mo yun, improve the capacities of this hospital. Even in Caraga, wala din tayong access site doon. But we are currently helping them to do that. Ang isa nating pwedeng gawin is really to advocate also to our legislators, no, to help to really help this local government units kasi kung ako, which is actually beyond already the mandate of expanding the facilities, all we can do in the central office is to really strongly advocate to the Health Facility Development Bureau, to the Health Facility Enhancement Program. Ang isa po nating pwedeng gawin is to reach out to the access sites, no, to have a memorandum of agreement as well sa pinaka-nearby access sites. In the short term, in the interim, no, na hindi pa sila access site, para hindi na sana pipila yung pasyente, and the LGUs can shoulder their indirect costs of treatment. For example, transportation. I know it's very easy to say, but it's very difficult to implement. But those are the things that we are currently advocating to our regional directors, no, to help.
It's good to hear, ma'am, that there talagang solutions. Everything's in motion, but it's really an all-of-government approach.
Yes. And, di ba, with the UHC, it's actually a province and citywide health systems building the healthcare provider network. So, in that alone, I think it's a bigger responsibility of the local government unit and, of course, the regional directors of our centers for health and development.
Thank you, ma'am. Has anything to add, Sir Kel?
With regards po sa access sites, yung breast cancer, yung sa amin po sa Z-Benefit Package. So, dire-diretso naman po ang pagpapalaga na po ng accreditation department namin para magkaroon pa ng mas maraming health facility na maging contracted health facility ng Z-Benefit Package.
Sir, how much of a priority is this, would you say?
Yes po. Ang priority po is always yung public hospital.
Yeah.
But in case na walang public hospital doon sa mismong area, yung mismong private facility na capable na mag-deliver ng breast cancer package ng PhilHealth.
Yan. Ma'am, yun lang no? Kasi alam naman ng lahat na problema talaga siya. It's just a matter of making it a priority. Thank you so much. Our next question here in pink and then kayo ma'am next. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Good afternoon po. I'm Dr. Patricia Caballero from Oriental Mindoro Provincial Hospital. Hi, Doktora. In our province, we are an island province, no? Hindi kami connected sa mainland, no? But hindi po kami na problema regarding sa accreditation ng PhilHealth. And we are very proud to say that in the hospital where I work, in Oriental Mindoro Provincial Hospital, Zaben, provider, but preterm and small babies. But we are hoping na ma-accredit pa rin kami ng ALL and breast cancer soon. So, hindi naman po kami nahirapan. But the problem is, PhilHealth, may checklist yan. Meron niyang assessment tool. Kailangan makapag-LTO ka muna sa DOH bago sila makapagbigay. That's why, Doktora, nag-apply po kami noong February and then March, sumulat po si Dr. Eric Tayag. Ang sabi po niya ay mag-submit kami ng kaukulang mga documents and we already submitted. Unfortunately po, yung pong aming access program, hindi po kami na-aprobahan pa. Dahil sabi po ni Ma'am Aliana, binabago niya daw po ang guidelines or assessment tool. And hoping daw po, 2025, makapag-assess na daw po kayo. And we are very excited po na ma-visit niyo po kami.
And sorry, I will cut you short because we are already actually.
And then, another last question naman po, yung DOH po sana, I know this is not your, hindi po yung office nyo, but sana po, ang suggestion ko po sa DOH, yung pong application fee po ng bawat facility, pababain ng konti, kasi sobra pong mahal. 12,000 po per application. And then another po sana, kung maaari po, yung pong kapartner na magdo-donate po ng biosafety cabinet, which is too expensive PBSP. Sana po ay maging aligned po yung ating assessment tool. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Sige, this will apply not only to Oriental Mindoro, but all the other far-flung areas. So please, brief response.
Very quick, ma'am, you're our priority. We presented Oriental Mindoro Provincial Hospital in the last, hindi ko ako ang nag-approve ng facilities. It's actually the Cancer Council. We presented to them. Oriental Mindoro is one of the facilities na priorities namin kasi wala ng cancer access sites doon. Second, noted on your questions on the licensing, we'll direct it to the Health Facility Services and Regulatory Bureau. We'll write to you, ma'am, as soon as the council meeting will convene again on October 16. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Hello. Good afternoon. This is Eileen Antolin from Casuso Foundation. So this is a direct question from one of our beneficiaries. So natapos na siya ng 8 cycles niya. And then she had to go through another pila for pre-authorization. So panibagong pilahan para sa pagpapapirma sa mga doktor. And you have to understand, these are patients in a public hospital na pumipila sa mga residente na minsan sobrang busy, hindi nila maaabutan. So there's also the new requests for medical abstracts, new processing for yung sa billing and sa yung protocol na kailangan nilang isubmit. How can we make this process simpler? Kasi my understanding is if a patient is enrolled in the Z benefit package at the first instance, like for example, enrolled na siya sa 8 cycle, bakit hindi na lang idiretso yung file niya so that tuloy-tuloy. From the 8 cycle, diretso siya sa kanyang trastuzumab, diretso sa surgery. Why does the patient have to undergo all the processes all over again, every step of the way, if in the first instance, identified na siya as a Z benefit package beneficiary?
More clarification po. Yung 8 cycles po ba niya, under Z na po siya?
Yes.
Dapat hindi na po yun, kailangan ng pre-authorization. Kasi maximum 18 cycles po yung coverage po ng Z.
Yeah, so pagka may miscommunication na ganyan, we'll take your example.
Yeah.
What can they do?
What can
Sino
we
po?
do?
Saan
Who
po?
do we approach? Like in a public hospital, is there a specific point person who will help us resolve issues like this?
Meron po kaming C benefit na coordinator. Siya po yung nagmamanage po ng mga nag-a-avail po ng Z.
Unfortunately, it doesn't solve the problem when they go there. I'm speaking from a personal experience with beneficiaries.
Apo. On the policy perspective po kasi, one pre-authorization lang po yung lahat ng treatment phase po doon.
So do you mean that iba-iba ang interpretation per hospital of the Z benefit package, how it's being implemented? Kasi I'm seeing this very commonly. Wala po bang taga... I'm not gonna mention the hospital.
Sige.
I won't mention. Later po, ibubulong ko
yes,
sa'yo.
Yes, ma'am. Yun po ang sasabihin ko. I think our speakers
sir,
will
wag
be
po kayo
available
mag-alala.
for you to approach.
Abangan ko po kayo dun sa
Yes.
pintuan.
One more to add.
Babantayan ko po kayo,
Maybe
sir.
na lang, Ma'am Chiki. So for our patient navigators in our hospital, part of our training na lang, nag-usap kami ni Sir Romy is to add the PhilHealth navigation para yung may hirapan, diretso na sa patient navigator and will advocate and navigate kung saan sila nahihirapan.
Patient navigators are key
Yes,
talaga, like
yes.
we learned today. Thank you, Dr. Jan. Thank you for your question. And we have one more. Yes, ma'am.
Short lang po ito. Lorena Miguel po from Embrace Support Group. Ang tanong ko po, may posibilidad po ba na ma-standardize ang mga requirements sa lahat ng uri ng medical assistance program para mas mapadali po ang pag-access sa mga ito?
Who wants to take?
Parang wala akong, we will advocate, ma'am, naintindihan ko kayo, we will advocate for that. And siguro ang masasabi ko, within the Department of Health, we can advocate as well to DSWD, siguro in the council meetings na lang po.
At least sa government, may
Yes, sa
unified
government.
requirements.
Correct. Or kahit isa na lang requirement for everything. ID na lang, no?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very
I think we
much.
end on a perfect note. This is a pledge. Oh, for that, you get a bonus 5 minutes. Dalian ninyo, sino mauuna sa mic? That's 1 or 2 more questions. Yes, ma'am, our winner.
Hello, yeah. I'm Eileen Pascual from Baguio City. I'd like to ask about CAF. Kasi we are applying for, I am applying for a request for PET scan under CAF fund, but we were told that, well, my main question is how can we speed it up? Like example, some patients are have already applied for it in July and the process is until now, hindi pa nagagawa yung PET scan. How can we speed it up? Kasi like, the concern is like, for me, I'm stage 4 and the PET scan would take 3 months. The 3 months could be like,
Where is this, ma'am? NKTI?
The application is in Baguio, but since we don't have PET scan there, we do it here in Manila or in Pampanga. So the question is the processing of the CAF application for the request on PET scan.
Where in Pampanga, ma'am?
It can be in Angeles, AUF, sometimes in NKTI. So the question is not really on the provider, but the processing of the request. How can we speed it up or like, ganun po ba talaga yung proseso niya?
No, ma'am, it should be fast. In fact, one of my staff had just recently had a PET scan in, last year in NKTI. Nag-apply siya ng morning, na PET scan siya nung din yun. Pero,
would that be an issue with the
ma'am,
hospital?
I have to check kasi ang access site namin in Region 3 is JBL and there's another one. So I have to check if they have a MOA with Angeles University Foundation ba yun?
Yeah, Angeles Foundation. From BGH to Angeles or NKTI?
Yes, ma'am. So I have to check if they have a MOA because it shouldn't take long.
That long. Kasi
Yeah.
yun the one I heard
Unless
is
otherwise
July.
they don't have a MOA, then JBL cannot pay AUF, right? So we have to check if they have a MOA.
Okay. One last case, sir, sa PhilHealth. Like I have, I'm a HER2 positive, so I have the targeted. And then I have, since it has metastasized, extended siya with the pertuzumab and the trastuzumab. Will that be covered continuously until the doctor says you can stop?
Yung policy po ng policy perspective, trastuzumab can be continued in the contracted health facility. So regardless kung ilang number po yung nabigay na sa inyo, ang ma-avail nyo is up to maximum 18 cycles of trastuzumab under PhilHealth.
What about if it has metastasized and it will be continued treatment? It will not
Currently-
be covered anymore?
Currently po, yung policy po namin, maximum 18 cycles of trastuzumab.
Hindi ba yun parang, we have the 1.4 million funding for the patient.
Ang difference po nito, yung 1.4 million is not, hindi po siya is yung bigay sa pasyente na parang ito yung gagastusin sa isang pasyente. But segregated po siya dun sa mga specific na treatment phase. Gaya ng surgery, pinaka-maximum 140,000. So depende kung anong surgical procedure yung gagawin sa inyo. Then allotted yung 192,000 for chemotherapy, depende sa inyong chemotherapy protocol gagamitin. Then 1 million for targeted therapy. And hormotherapy, yan. Magkakaiba po yan.
Hiwa-hiwalay siya. Okay.
So hiwa-hiwalay po siya.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your question. Quick question, Dr. Jan, when did you start handling the cancer in DOH?
2022, ma'am.
Okay, so 2022 pa lang po pumasok si Dr. Jan. So we will feel the difference that Dr. Jan will introduce right about now, okay? So we will give her a chance. And we're looking forward to that. Our last question, ma'am.
Kay Sir Kiel po ng PhilHealth. Doc, sir, gusto kong malaman, since na kailangan natin sa Reggie Drilon po, ano po ito, cervical cancer survivors. Gusto ko lang pong malaman, since ang cervical cancer po ay may vaccination, baka po pwede nating ipasok sa cervical cancer yung vaccine ipasok natin sa PhilHealth. Then, ang hindi lang po doon, pati po yung screening, at sana po, pati po sana yung palliative care po natin kasi po, one of my member po, siya na po mismo yung nag-diagnose. Sa bahay lang po nila, sabi niya tawag nito, na coma na hanggang sa namatay po. Nasa bahay lang po niya at siya lang po yung tumitingin. Ang sana po, kung meron po sana tayong malalapitan or pupunta doon sa bahay para tumingin doon sa, ganun na po ang sitwasyon.
Sige po. Sagutin ko ma'am yung screening, ma'am. So kung familiar po kayo sa konsulta, ang kailangan nyo lang po magpa-register sa isang consultant provider. Yung tanong po, ma'am, may screening po doon, yung pap smear. Same din po sa breast cancer kung kailangan nyo ng clinical breast exam. So, yung mga primary care physician, sila po yung bahalang mag-diagnose ng patient, then i-refer po siya sa mga capable na health facility to manage po yung mga pasyente. Then, with regards po sa vaccination, magkaiba po yung perspective po ng DOH and PhilHealth. So, kami po, individual-based po yung aming service coverage. And I think, basa ko po kay Dr. Levada po yung tungkol sa screening, sa vaccination.
Sige ma'am, sa vaccination po kasi sa HPV, ang eligible population natin, public health-wise ma'am is 9 to 14 years old. So, 9 to 14 years old, basta grade 4 ka para mas mabilis ang implementation, yun yung binibigyan natin ng bakuna. Bakit? Kasi yun ang dapat before sexual debut, nabigyan na talaga sila ng bakuna. So pasensya na po kung ang mga kasing edad ko ay hindi na natin mababakunahan. I think yun po talagang out-of-pocket expense. Gusto kasi natin, cost-efficient din yung binibigay nating bakuna. Second, nililigawan namin ng PhilHealth for the VAA. So hopefully, mapasok na yung VAA sa PhilHealth. Third, I don't know if you guys know, we're doing a pilot implementation of the HPV DNA testing kits. So it's self-collection. I've tried it. So try it if may opportunity kayo to try it. But once the health technology assessment has a positive recommendation for the HPV DNA kits, we will be procuring it at a national level, ma'am.
Yun.
Sakit lang.
O, isa pa.
Magdagdag lang po ako. Yung sa consulta po na registration, libre po yun. Yan. So, capitation po ito. Yung gamit na provider payment. So, wala po kayong babayaran. Registration lang.
Paano ba mag-enroll?
Pupunta lang po sila sa isang consulta provider. Then, i-enroll po kayo doon. May check-up, may mga laboratories na libre. So, hindi nga lang lahat covered. May mga gamot din na pwedeng ma-avail yung mga pasyente. Diagnostic, yun. Pagpunta niyo po, malalaman niyo po kung ano yung pwede niyo ma-avail sa isang consulta provider.
Kay Doc
Thank
Jam
you.
po, pwede po isa.
Thank you. Alam nyo, ma'am, nilock na po ang mga pinto sa SEDA dahil hindi po makakalabas ang ating 3 resource persons dahil pwede nyo po silang lapitan pa para sa inyong mga katanungan. Alright? So we really appreciate the responsiveness of our resource people. If you will allow us to quickly have a photo opportunity with everybody. So we're going to be standing with all of you. Habang tayo po ay naghahanda for our next forum. Gutom na po kayo? Hindi pa? Kasi nutrition yung susunod na pag-usapan pagkatapos nakakagutom yon. Pero magpipicture muna tayo. So we will ask everybody to please stand up. Tama ba, G?